All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Berserk, episode 13.
All right.
Oh, we had the Casca backstory.
Yes.
We had all that intense stuff with Griffith and her at the lake river place thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Guts and Casca separated from Midland's army and Griffith and the Band of the Hawk. They need to get back, and
because it looked like two doors looking for them.
yes, they have people that are specifically aware that they fell down the cliff. They're probably alive, and they're looking to finish the job. And there's just two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we can count Guts' big sword as being like half a person, right? Like, the sword itself is like half a soldier. Like,
Sure.
Basically. I mean, it's about the same size as Casca. I mean,
Right.
in mass,
about as much,
in
too.
mass, but maybe also taller than her. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to, in this episode, is more maybe some Guts kind of talking. Like, Guts isn't one of many words, that's for sure. I mean,
he did
his
a
name
lot
is
of listening
Guts.
last episode.
But yes, instead of being the listening type, he could be the talking type this
Yes.
episode. That could be kind of cool. I also wonder how much they'll go with the whole dual storyline thing, because Berserk hasn't done that, really. Where they have basically the cast dramatically separated.
Oh, gotcha. And then they tell both stories at once?
Tell both stories
I
simultaneously.
thought you were talking about the whole timeline thing.
Oh, well, no, I know that's all crazy. But I mean, we could have Griffith's campaign and the battle,
While
like,
the stuff
going
with them is
on,
going on.
while Guts and Casca are doing
Very true.
their
It's
stuff.
very true. Yeah.
Maybe as more of a way to catch up with how the Band of the Hawk. Like, I hope Guts and Casca are doing okay.
Yeah.
And then we found out that like Pippin's like disappeared, and you're like, where'd Pippin go? He's like, he's going to look for them. And he's gonna get in trouble. It's like he doesn't care. Wouldn't that be awesome
That
to
would
have
be
like
awesome.
one of the Band of the Hawk members like sneak away and tell like maybe Rickert to like not tell anyone, and Rickert's like, he said I'm not supposed to say anything when he left. I mean, I don't know. I think
No.
just be
Pippin
kinda
would
cool.
take Rickert as a turret on his shoulder.
Pippin, I need to reload it. Takes like 2 fingers and goes. Thanks, Pippin.
It's basically be like Rocket and Groot, you know?
I love it. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited to get in this episode. So without further ado, let's do this. Armor is really heavy.
Yep.
迷惑な話だぜ。
Gosh,
女っ
guys.
てのはよ、すぐに頭に血が昇る。おまけに月のものだ。
お前に何がわかる
男の俺にわかるわけねえだろ。
He's getting her pissed off so that she'll get all fired up and like, I'm strong, I can keep going.
行くぞ
Yes. Guts being a leader without even knowing it. Wait, he did know it. He did know it.
I may have a charisma of 7, but I do have my moments.
Oh. Yep. Crap.
Those shots from far away.
Those shots from far away. Oh, crap. There's a lot of them.
How many are there?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, how many? Are we talking like 12? We're talking 25? Oh, it's a number that we're not supposed to be able to count. Wonderful.
どこから湧いて出やがった。
Oh! Shots fired!
いたいた。
Wait.
生きとった。
Yeah!
嬉しいぞ
Oh my gosh!
おっさん、あんたも元気そうじゃねえか。受けし舐めさ
So
せら
maybe
れ
the
た
battle is over if he's here.
へ
Oh, really?
え。貴様のただでは悶絶100年殺しで。
Monzetsu Goroshi!
たっぷりと見せてくれ。
For 200
あん
years!
たも結構
Okay.
生きていればいいのだからこの場で兵どもの
Yes,
慰
you
み
said
者だ
that.
やめといた方がいいんじゃねえの
I have to suggest.
こいつはおっかねえぞ
Ah!
ちぎられるぜ
His canines.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the power of my sharp bicuspid.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh! Swing your sword that way. You swing your sword this way.
Yeah.
They're tired too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Whoa! Casca! Yes! Yes, keep diving head in. I'm sure it will work eventually.
大勢で一気にかか
In
れ
a single charge, right.
Group up and hit them till they die.
Oh, that sword is just crazy!
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, and he's fast? Oh! Oh!
Oh, you try and block it with your spear? I'll just, cut right through it. And you.
Oh, yes! Thank you! Precise strikes. Oh! Yes!
Uh-huh.
I've lost count already how many people they've killed.
They're in the right
Well,
place.
then what does that make you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Samson? Big brother. So this is a Corporalwitz? What the
heck
heck is that helmet? What is that helmet?
It's an anglerfish.
Yeah! Oh my! I love how he always has to describe things.
Yeah,
It's like, he thinks this is a shonen. Like, this guy, he thinks he's in a shonen right now. It's like, bro, you're in the wrong story, my friend.
Imagine losing balance just a little bit with armor that thick.
Oh! Oh! Guts hit it back! That's almost a little unrealistic, just because the sword shouldn't be able to... He looks like a big hippo! What is this guy? Guts is bleeding?
俺がチャンスを作る。そしたらお前は一気に森を駆け上れ。
Dang, Guts.
でも
Whoa! Oh, you're dead now.
That's not supposed to happen.
Guts made it rain. That's what those 200 swings are for every day, you know?
Yeah.
ソムス、ポケットしてんじゃねえ。走れ。何やってんだ。早く行け。
一人で行くなんて私にはできない
Yeah, I was waiting for the crossbows.
勘違いしてんじゃねえ。
Yeah, don't get the wrong idea. It's not like I'm doing this because you're cool or anything, Baka.
Exactly.
かもしれねえな。俺はお前の望みってな、こんな安っぽいもんなのか。
Oh, dang,
Yeah,
those words.
yeah.
Guts, are you sure your charisma score is that low? Is he tapping into his JoJo powers or something and posing hard at them? Oh, what is with those fangs?
See,
they keep focusing on it.
The badassness of an anime character is always proportional to the size of their bicuspids.
Oh. Even his ears are kind of pointed. It's in these moments they're trying to give you the impression that he's more animal than human.
それまで死ぬな
と捕まえて殺せ。
But the guy's in the way.
女のケツをかけんのは。
There goes his head.
Yeah.
Oh! He didn't cut through. He picked him up and threw him to the side as he cut into him.
Yep.
Yeah, his sword is blunt. He's not cutting through them much anymore.
販売以上。いて。
Yeah, you better hope you die. Otherwise, you'll be just sitting there with like half your body broken. 100? Yeah, don't talk nonsense. You only number like 71 right now.
俺たちは弱えっすよ。
Oh, shoot.
5倍の報奨金をくれてや。
Dang. That's genius.
100人じゃねえだろ。
Yeah.
あの傷じゃ。
Oh, they're gonna get smart.
なんとかなんだろ。何をごちゃごちゃ。
What are you bitching about? Oh my gosh. This episode is just one massive battle between Guts and a small army. Oh crap. His movement was predictable, so you just move around it. It's good.
Yep.
Save your energy. Oh crap. Sneak attack! Sneak attack doesn't work if you yell it out loud like that, bro. Yeah, she shouldn't be able to outrun them if there's more of them.
Right.
Whoa! His face animation there. Oh my gosh. Whoa! They just break.
Yeah. It's like not just can he actually swing it, but he's actually faster.
Run. Oh! He threw his sword?
He just ran really fast.
Oh. Oh! Guts, you're crazy! He's going feral. Oh!
これ以上走れない
You might want to abandon the armor then. Oh! One slick motion. Whoa. Crap. No. So this is...
あんたが随分と仲間をやられちまったから
They're
な
not gonna kill
バ
her.
ラす前にそれなりのお礼をさせてもらうぜあの世に行く前にたっぷりと楽しい思いをさせてやろうってんだぜ感謝してもらいてえぐらいだどうだ悔しいか
こんなやつ一人を跳ねのけられないなんてなんて非力なんだこの腕は
Oh, just took it in the shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And they're gonna end it. Of course they are. Good grief. Well, cliffhanger much?
Yeah.
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 Guts casually takes on 100 men. I mean, Casca helps. I mean, yeah, she kills about 5 or 6 of them, you know. Guts takes on 94, you know, soldiers.
Well, wait, then there was the other 5 that went after Casca, so let's be real. It's only like 89 soldiers.
Yeah. Like, there are stories, guys. There are stories in the past of really
Ridiculous
insane things that one person does. But it's just ridiculous that we're actually getting that in a show that, while having the dark, fantastical kind of things happening, it tries to
grounded and,
it tries to do it in a grounded way.
Right.
But then Guts' whole character is one of just
It's like
he's a monstrosity in and of himself. So
right.
yeah. Good grief. Okay, well, all
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Guts swings his mighty sword.
That's right. That is
And
3 times bigger and 3 times thicker.
Yep. Not at all compensating for anything. Not at all.
Not at all.
He is very confident in his sword's abilities.
That's right.
As he positions his hands down there, you know, and just wick.
Hey, center of gravity.
Center of gravity, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
When you have a sword that big, I mean, you better grasp it, like, very firmly closer to the bottom.
But in all realism, like if you did have a sword that heavy, it would be one of those things where it would kind of be like carrying you more than anything else.
That's the thing that's stupid, is that his strength has got to be so much so that he can stop the swing of his sword.
Exactly. That's what's crazy. Not the fact that he can swing it, but that he can maneuver it.
Or that, like, this is the one thing I'm surprised they haven't shown yet. It's probably just because he's so stupidly strong. But that his sword would get stuck in a lot of things. And it's awkward sometimes having to pull the sword, I would assume, out of broken bones and carnage.
I think it's just the idea that, like,
stuff.
when he hits something, the conservation of momentum makes it so that that thing is shoved
Dislodged.
away very quickly.
After getting crunched into.
Yeah, because it just transfers it, you know. Hence, like, when he hits the guy, he's not just, like, cutting into him.
I want to see him do full, like, 720 rotation because he can't actually stop it.
Okay.
No, basically he would swing and he would continue and he would have to and he's like dragging a body at like the end of it as it slides down the
further away from the center point. Yeah. Yep.
It's ridiculous
because that is like when people had used like claymores and stuff like that in like olden times. That was pretty much what you wanted to do. Just keep it spinning.
It's ridiculous. Yep. So Guts and Casca didn't really get to talk much, but Guts had his little rant to try and get Casca fired up again, which was interesting because Guts has led a very simple life. It's been a harsh life, but it's been simple.
Yes.
And his life has consisted of, I swing this sword and I stay alive. I get paid and people like me.
Yeah, and the people that don't die.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then Casca comes around and she's got this really complex, really harsh as well backstory that in a lot of ways I'd say makes Guts kind of sympathetic or at least empathetic to her. And that he feels like, hey, I have some similarities with this woman, like more than I would like to admit in a lot of ways. So his kind of chiding of her we can take with a little bit of grain of salt because you know that he knows a little bit more of where she's come from, so he's not just saying this because he believes it. He probably does in some way, But he's also saying it to kind of piss her off because
Right.
when she's pissed off, she gets like, I get a new jolt
Exactly.
of energy. And he's like, yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Guts thinking like, I used my 10 intelligence to great effect right there. Yeah.
Simple but effective.
Rolled a nat 20 on
Yep.
intimidate /
Persuasion. Yeah.
thing.
Right.
So, okay. They get ambushed
by Mr.
Mr. Korborowitz and his younger brother. I just loved that. That was hilarious. In a lot of ways, the Korborowitz guy, I don't know if he was intended to be comic relief. Like, if we go back to when this show first originally came out,
Gotcha.
he might not have been as funny. He might have been someone where we're like, oh, that guy, I hate that guy.
Right. Where you don't necessarily take him super seriously, but it's the I want him to go down. Whereas now it's like, that's the bit of levity that's thrown in
exactly
along with like Corcus and and other people.
Well, the Band of the Hawk is different.
Yeah, they have their own different style, but like
yes.
in such like a gritty.
It's because Korborowitz guy takes himself way too seriously.
Yes, exactly.
That we can't take him as seriously,
And even
so
the
therefore it's funny.
characters don't really take him seriously.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
So when he shows up with 100 soldiers,
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't he leading the previous army?
Well, he has been kind of failing.
No, my point is that does that mean the battle's over?
That is a good question.
Like, does that mean that the army splintered up into groups so small that he's only left with 100 men? Like, that's the kind of questions that go through my mind. So I'm curious to when they bring Griffith back into things, will the battle be over? Will the war potentially even be mostly over? Because, say, Tudor's army is, like, soundly beaten, and maybe they have to rely on, hunkering down and storing, stuff from their granaries and getting ready for a siege or like their bigger castles and stuff. But Korborowitz being here with his battle wounds, I loved the bandages and stuff, the little attention to detail.
How half his teeth are missing.
Yep, half his teeth are missing. That was fantastic. So he could die here. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
There's an aspect of this that is just epic because it's the guy that we know can't die yet. And he's taking on 100 men, so we know that he's going to kill them all.
And the idea that in the first episode they were like, "Oh, that's the Black Swordsman,"
right?
Or he was like, "The Black Swordsman is here for your master."
This is the kind of things that builds the legend of the Black Swordsman.
Exactly.
So he's probably not actually going to kill them all. What it's probably going to be is that he'll be bloodied and he'll have this mound of corpses around him, and he'll have like one dead arm and his one just barely holding onto his sword. He's gonna be like, come on, who's next? Get over here. And they're just gonna be like, sir, forget this. And they just toss their weapons and they run.
Because in order for there to be stories, there need to be survivors.
So there will be at least one survivor. And probably to make the story believable, there'll probably be closer to about 3 or 4 survivors.
So they can corroborate the...
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, this guy's crazy. Like, no, we saw it.
So they can corroborate the story.
I love that. I'm coining that too. I want to take that. Is that a fandom word? Like,
no,
do you know
I just
you just made that up on the spot?
Oh
my gosh, I love that. Corroborate.
Corroborate.
Corborolate.
Yeah, corborolate. Yeah.
Corborolate.
It's like corroborate. But it's corborolate.
Corborolate. Okay, cool. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, it's when you over the top dramatize a story that someone else gave.
Exactly.
In a way that is factually correct, but adds all kinds of flair and numbers and dramatic specifics to it that are total bogus.
The kinds of things where where you need that extra person to say, no, we're serious, because otherwise there's no way people will believe you. They're like,
because Guts would never call himself the Black Swordsman.
No.
Those kinds of titles are given because of deeds you do and the way other people call you.
Exactly. Anyone who says, I am the king is no king.
Well, also... The Black Swordsman is interesting because you think about Guts and nothing about him says black except for his hair. But if this happened in the night, in the dead of night, and this was the first instance of him doing things and he's coined the Black Swordsman, it's the idea that you don't see him, you see his shadow, his silhouette.
I think
like a black
I think the
swordsman
idea is actually
the
the idea that his cloak is black.
Oh, his cloak is black. That's true.
So
That's
like with the whole thing of like when he the way that
deflects the crossbow bolts.
or and also
Those couldn't have been that strong of crossbow bolts if his cape is enough to dissuade their.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's
path.
just enough to like make them so that it turns them away just a little bit, so they're glancing blows on armor. Because like a lot of times, like the whole point of armor is that it can't take a straight shot usually, but it can deflect the ones that are almost hits.
Crossbows have an extreme like penetrating power because they're very like they're bolts. They're not arrows.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah. That's why they were using crossbows instead of bows. Because yes, with a bow I could see them glancing because it's just the arrowhead itself that does the piercing.
Well, or just the fact that it's probably not quite as dense as far as like
it's
how
not
heavy
quite
it
as
is
dense
and
and
stuff.
heavy. Yes, that's true. Okay, so let's just get into the fact that Guts is going to defeat these guys.
Right. Or at the very least survive.
He's going to survive that. That's true. I don't think he's going to get reinforcements is the thing.
Gotcha. They'll just show up when he's on the pile of the dead bodies or whatever.
No, he's going to come dragging his bloodied sword over to where Casca is.
Oh.
And I don't know what's going to happen to Casca now. Because they built up this whole backstory bit about how she was nearly raped, about how she was nearly killed.
All the troubles of, being a woman in a war zone back in those days and stuff.
And then Guts is distracted right now. He has no logical reason to somehow get there in time. And I'm just really hoping this is something where everyone makes it out of this okay. Because what they did was they cleverly separated them. Which
And you never split the party.
You never split the party. But the thing is that to make it more realistic, Guts can't be thinking about her when he's fighting. He has to go full animal, full...
Right. He has to embody
Berserk, if you will. Yeah. Roll the credits.
I've been waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
And basically embody the whole statement that, he's sometimes sort of said about himself, and Casca has definitely said about himself. If you never think about anything but swinging your sword, it's like, well, that's what we need right now.
That's what we need right now. A guy who can just swing a big
ducking sword.
Yeah. So he does that. She gets assaulted.
Doesn't look like it's going to end well.
No, it doesn't look like it's going to end well. Because we know with Guts it has to end somewhat well. Somewhat. Because of the way the story's set up. But by cleverly separating Casca from him, we don't know if it's going to end well for her.
Right. Because we didn't see her in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just she's not with Guts right now.
Well, right.
Because Guts basically has to succeed in most respects outside of, dying, basically.
Right.
So it's like...
As long as he doesn't... But did you die? Like...
Yeah. That's actually going to be Guts' story, probably. It's just all these horrible things are going to happen to him. And he's going to be like, my life sucks. He's like, but did you die? And he's going to be like... He picks up his sword. He's like, I haven't killed someone this week. It kind of... I missed it. They're like, hey! I can just see it.
Right, that whole cheesy line that the noble gave when Guts stepped on his foot of my sword thirsts for your blood or whatever. It's like, okay, that was the poser line.
Right.
But when Guts says it, he of course won't say it so eloquently maybe.
No.
But
it's just like, I could really kill someone right now. And they're like, it's kind of the thing that worries me a little bit about Guts' character is in these moments and stuff, he loses himself in the heat of the moment, and he just becomes an animal. But the show does these little things to try and emphasize that.
Yeah.
And which could
the
be
bicuspids.
Yeah, the bicuspids, the fangs, if you will. But not only that, his ears, and this is something that I was wondering how actually relevant this is, but they're extremely pointed.
Or at least they made them more pointed.
They made them look more pointed. Now,
now,
here's the thing that's kind of a trope in the terms of the person who is the cold-hearted killer with a soft side, is that they constantly are at war internally with that cold heartless killer that they have to deal with.
Right.
And they have to keep it in check sometimes. But in certain circumstances, when it's necessary, they need to unleash the beast, if you will.
Right.
If you will. They need to go berserk. And in this case, Guts has gone berserk. The question is the story trying to hint that Guts going berserk taps into something else? Because this show has the whole aspect of the supernatural, or at the very least the dark evil things that wait in the dark. They are present, but they're not here, if that makes sense.
We don't see a mask forming over his face,
Right,
or
right.
flaming tails coming up behind him.
Thank you for being very tasteful, Jacob. Thank you.
So it's the idea of, is this something that is just a thematic thing of, the inner beast and all that stuff, or is it something that it's like, okay, no, literally in this world of demons and crap,
Right.
is this an actual thing that is happening?
We don't know. We don't know. And I like that we don't know, because but it just pulls at the questions, and we get to kind of discuss those things.
Exactly.
In particular, though, Guts getting out of this okay, but Casca not, could be the thing. Like, we've always been waiting for what's the thing that's going to separate Guts and Griffith from each other. Basically start the sundering. If Guts essentially is blamed for Casca's death, it won't necessarily be that Griffith will 100% hate, Guts. But the Band of the Hawk might be like, dude, how could you? We believed in you. And it's like, dude, you don't understand.
You're supposed to be able to do anything.
Right. It's their belief. Their
Mm-hmm.
belief in Guts' invincibility is kind of shattered. And it's a funny thing, because I feel like that's what's going to happen with Griffith in a different way, is that Griffith is seemingly invincible, right?
Right.
He is
Just
the man of miracles. He does whatever is necessary, and
kicks
he gets the
to the
job
curb
done.
and does the impossible, sees the invisible, touches the untouchable, and breaks the unbreakable.
With good reference, I love it. But that's eventually going to fail him on some level. I wouldn't want to have Casca's character sacrificed on the altar of this.
Right. The whole idea of there's a character that hasn't gotten much development. Oh, backstory, sudden development.
What's this?
Does this? Well,
Is this a reference to Jungle Book or something? Oh no.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
You doing?
I didn't know why I was doing it. But the idea that it's does this mean there's going to be some horrible tragic death all of a sudden? And it's like, oh.
Yeah. Especially right after we got her backstory.
Exactly.
So maybe the show is doing a double blind on us, and they're saying, this would typically be when the character getting the massive super backstory and then episode afterwards dies.
Right.
We're trying to tease at that, but because we know Guts has to somewhat succeed, outside of, dying, he will save her, but she might be never the same after this, or something like that. Or maybe maybe she will end up having a broken down kind of moment like what Griffith had in the river.
Sure.
Or maybe in some other ways, she will be saved by Guts, and Guts will be her savior in that moment. And it'd be kind of in that moment of where maybe they start to, get a little bit closer. Not instantly be like, take me, Guts, but like in that moment where she's like, wow, this guy really is looking out for me.
Right. For all the selfish things that he has done, that was a pretty unselfish thing to do.
Right. And that was a thing I theorized a while back, was that there's the very real potential for a love triangle to be some kind of a sundering for the...
I love that hand motion you did.
Because you see what this is. These are all incomplete triangles.
Right. Yeah. No, I got it. And that's why I thought it was just, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was wanting to make sure that that's why I was doing this.
Right. Yeah. No.
We all have our weird things, I guess. Okay. Context, focus. The battle's not over. We have a cliffhanger. We have a pretty big stinger in that Yeah, Casca's about to get raped. Like if something doesn't change here.
Yep.
So them cutting it off here though kind of makes me think that she's going to be okay. Because if they wanted to show something horrible happen to her,
They would have it all happen in the one
at
episode.
the very end of the episode, and it would be like, "Holy crap! They just killed Casca!" Like,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Unless that's happening at the end of the next episode, which could happen still. But
It's the idea that usually, like, in the same thing with action, too, they'll have the initiation, right? Then they'll have the actual action-y thing, and then they'll have the aftermath. Right? The repercussions, the wind up for the punch, the contact, and then the person like falling backward or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? In the case of Guts' sword, it's I wind up, I swing, they go flying, and there's a spurt of blood.
good grief.
Yeah.
The sword that he has, I'm surprised. Wait, actually, we do know now. If his sword is 3 times as heavy.
No, 3 times as thick and 3 times as long.
Oh, so wait, no, it's not 3 times as heavy. It's
It's
heavier.
much heavier.
Much heavier. Oh, crap. So
He's not swinging a sword at this point. Like, he's swinging a long battle axe where the handle is also the blade. Like,
I'm just trying to think of, like, how big is this thing?
right. Well,
Because
we
a
could
hand
get
and
measuring stick.
a hand and a half sword would probably be about, what, 30 pounds, would you say?
I don't know. I'm not much of a sword person.
I'm gonna throw out some dumb numbers out there because I'm bad at this, but I'm gonna make some assumptions. Let's say a hand and a half sword is 30 pounds. I think that's a bit heavy.
But if Guts' sword is 3 times as long and 3 times as thick, I'm guessing Guts' sword is about 200 pounds or so.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I was gonna throw out the 180 pound.
Well, because the thing
guess.
is that if it's 3 times as thick, right?
Yeah,
and it's also
yeah.
longer. Like the whole volume, cube
It's all
function.
screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Hence why Guts is an 80s action hero as far as like upper body, muscle mass goes.
He tapped into his JoJo. I had to call this out, guys. There's a point where all the people are charging him. He takes off his helmet, so he has better vision, I'm guessing. Yeah, sure.
Probably. So
sure.
like peripheral, so people can't sneak up on him.
Right. But that's the instant kill shot for a ranged bolt to kill him.
Yes,
so
and Guts is pretty tall, so it does kind of stand out.
it does kind of stand out.
Yeah.
Then, no, he doesn't prepare his arm to get ready for a swing, like some kind of up guard or bring it down here. He puts it on his back
Yeah.
and looks at them and then does the whole like, yeah. I'm like, is this Bleach? Is this JoJo's? Like, now I realize they all like rip off things like this, like all the not JoJo's maybe,
but like Bleach was probably just like, hey, what if we tried to make Guts as a shonen protagonist, give him orange hair so it throws him off, and then
just give him a massive sword,
right? Because that's the whole
that's
point
the whole
of it,
pull
right?
of the character.
There's
right?
nothing else to it.
Yeah.
That.
But in that moment, it just felt like he did a JoJo pose. He's like, all right, I need to regen. JoJo pose.
Sorry, I need to charge up my awesome points for this battle.
Right, so
every stat will be used.
Everyone sees the dead bodies, like the 100 dead bodies or so around there when they come over. And they're like,
Guts is
Nani?
just-
No. Guts is gone. And they're like, Nani? This must have been the work of an enemy stand. And then Guts' sword, we realize, is a stand. All right, enough joking around, guys. This is a crazy episode. I'm excited for the next one. But if you want to watch that next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us about stories or whatever. Guts' massive sword, his park bench, as you call it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.